Good day, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brother Minister Cepeda, the founder and operator of a holistic ministry that is designed to provide nourishment for your mind, your body, and your spirit. I achieved this goal by very strategically and uniquely merging the following services to create a balance, obviously, that organic balance within your mind, body, and spirit. And I utilize philosophical consultations that's based solely on experiential philosophies, along with ISSA certified fitness training in conjunction with spiritual, clean hearted spiritual teachings and practices. So visit the website, be encouraged by the bio, whether it fits something that you're comfortable with or not. At the end of the day, it is at its very core a truly inspirational story, very remarkable. And do me a courtesy and check it out. Pass that word on to any and everyone else that you feel can afford to be uplifted. Perhaps they're going through some trying times, some challenging times, and it doesn't look all that promising for them at the moment. But I am living testament to the fact that this universal power, most commonly referred to as God, it is real, it's still alive, it's still doing miracles. And if you are committed to being the best person that you can be and putting in the works that's necessary for you to live that out, not just wanting to be it, but actually working and putting forth some effort. Doesn't matter how many times you've fallen, doesn't matter how many times you've disappointed yourself or disappointed others. None of that even matters. All that matters is that you keep trying, keep believing that there's more for you, there's better in you than what you've exhibited thus far. It'll help you. It'll see you through to the end. And it'll see you past the end. But it'll definitely help you achieve your goal of becoming a better person, help you in your finances, your health, and so forth and so on. It really will, guys. I promise. So just keep fighting, keep believing, and do me a courtesy by visiting my website at treeoflifeoutreach.com. It's treeoflifeoutreach.com. Familiarize yourself with the services, my bio. Once you read through the services, go through and click on the fitness. There's a link for the fitness arm of my ministry where it goes. It deals exclusively with the physical fitness training aspect of the ministry. So having said that, guys, today I'm just want to talk to you guys briefly about the fact that, this may be a little bit tough to hear, but we need tough love. You can't become a tough person by going through easy and soft times. So it takes tough times to build tough people. And a part of that tough times, obviously, includes having to hear, receive, and embrace tough information. And so the fact of the matter is, you have betrayed yourself. There's no other way to look at it. You've betrayed yourself. You have betrayed yourself. And I'll get into what I mean by that in a moment, because the fact of the matter is, I too had betrayed myself once upon a time. And if you read the bio, you'll be able to understand exactly where I'm coming from. You'll have clarity with regards to exactly where I'm coming from. Just briefly about me before so I don't want anybody to feel as though I'm putting them down. This is actually a put down for pull up. Okay? Sometimes we have to hit rock bottom in order for us to bounce back up. Sometimes we have to hear that tough information so that we can be hurt and decide that we're going to do something about it, be disappointed, and utilize that energy to benefit us and to become better people and get to a higher level of the person it is we want to be and the things it is we'd like to achieve. So with me, if you read the bio, it'll give you more clarity, but I'll run through this and to help you guys know that I'm not here to judge you guys, but I am here to give you guys some tough love. I mean, growing up, my earlier years, I was a standout student, honors in class, top honors in class. Even though I went astray at a very young age, I was dominating all the sports. We started playing sports and summer leagues and all of that. Started boxing, doing all those things, running, swimming, you name it. We did it all, particularly all of the contact sports. Wrestling wasn't necessarily the thing to do, but we wrestled as well. So I had all of this positive energy. We went to church at least twice a week, a minimum of twice a week. Did the Bible study. We did prayer night. We definitely went each and every Sunday. So that's the path that I was on. Very nice, very friendly, very outgoing. Had big hopes and dreams of becoming this super duper boxing professional world champion, greatest of all times. If you're going to do something, do big. If you're going to think something, think it big. So that's the way I was taught, and that's the way I was thinking, and that's what I felt in my heart. I basically, long story short, I started hanging out with the wrong crowds and started doing the direct opposite of everything that I had intended to do. I started running the streets, committing crimes, hurting people, becoming just arrogant, self-absorbed, overwhelming sense of entitlement, arrogance, you name it. That I became the direct opposite of what it is that I was truly made to be, and that which I had truly set out to be, and that I knew in my heart all along was the person that I was intended to be. I betrayed all of that. For some of the same things that you may have betrayed yourself for. Maybe different elements of those same things, but the same things nevertheless, in terms of success, the desire to want to fit in, the desire to be respected, the desire for monetary accumulations, fast cars, vacations, the lime life, all of it. So whatever it is that I sold out for may be a different oscillation, if you will, from what it is that you sold out. But at the end of the day, I sold out and you sold out. So I wanted to set the table with myself first and then call you guys to the mat, because calling myself to the mat is what caused me to change. And even though there was a couple decades worth of struggling and me actually having to call myself to the mat over and over and over again and make those mistakes and fall down and get scarred and get back up and still try and then fall down again and get back up and then continue to try, is how my Heavenly Father, this universal power, was able to bring me through by me not quitting and not giving up and not settling. So some of you guys have betrayed yourselves, and some of you guys have settled for that betrayal. You've decided that that's just who you is, and that's just the way it is, and that's what is required for you to pay your bills, maybe even support a certain lifestyle, have a certain young lady or a young man in your life, and you've kind of given up. Well, you haven't you just given up on yourself. You've betrayed yourself. You had goals and hopes and dreams of doing this, living this kind of lifestyle, being that kind of person, and somewhere along the line, you got distracted. Maybe a job opportunity, maybe the wrong crowd, maybe drugs, maybe you got off to depression and became just a mean person, or whatever that situation may be. But if you look within yourself and you're honest, hand on heart honest, you can acknowledge the fact that you have betrayed yourself. You really have. And not only did you betray yourself, which is the ultimate betrayal, but you also betrayed those who invested time in you, who invested money into you, prayer into you, hopes, dreams. They put a lot of encouragement into you, assisted you along the way when they first began to realize that you were in need of assistance, and you was kind of going off the path that they knew and you knew was meant for you, your best self. And so these people put time into you, they put energy into you, they put faith and love and warmth and encouragement into you, and you betrayed all of that. As did I. As did I. I was brought up in a household where, again, we went to church a minimum of 2 days a week. We were taught to respect our elders, to work hard for everything you want in life, to be honest, to be, stand up, real human beings, to go for our goals and zero in on it and treat people with respect and kindness and to be Prometheus and all these things. And I betrayed all of that and began to do what it is that I wanted to do once I became infected with wanting to do other things, chase girls, have the fancy cars, be young, be flamboyant, be loud, be outgoing, be the center of attention. And we were always taught to be humble, be modest, and things of that nature. So just having gone through that, I know this is what's taking place on a mass level in our society. And you can't be happy. You can't make anybody else feel joy and things of that nature. I mean, you could share a joke and give a word of encouragement, but you can't you're doing them and yourself and all of us in collective society a disfavor when you betray yourself, because we need you. There's a special gift and a special hope and dream that only you can fulfill that's needed in collective society. There's a fingerprint on your hand that only you have. There's a dream that's positive, that's constructive, that's can benefit all of humanity. I don't care what it is. It could benefit all of us because all of us are interconnected on the metaphysical or the spiritual level anyway. So we need that originality. We need for you to bring forth your dreams to help us paint this tapestry where we're all bringing something beautiful to the table to create this one beautiful picture. So you have betrayed yourself, you have betrayed all of us. And this is what's going on in collective society. There are people who had hopes, dreams, thoughts, wishes, ambitions, goals, desires of how they wanted to be, of what they wanted to accomplish. And when they get up each and every day, they realize they're not doing any of that. They haven't accomplished any of that. They're not being any of that. Please get me right. Surely they have accomplished some of them, or a lot of them, or most of them, whatever number suits well with you and your belief system. But undoubtedly, there are those among us who are very well accomplished. They could be CEOs of Wall Street type companies. They could have accomplished their goals with, having a wife and kids and a 2-car garage and what have you. They could have accomplished those goals. But that doesn't mean they accomplished the goal that they set out to, and that doesn't mean that they were the person that they know they should be and could be and are called to be in order to get those things. And so each and every day when they get up and they see those things and they see, wow, they accomplished the monetary things or whatnot, but that's it. And so it's all empty. It doesn't bring them anything. Success, you hear me say this over and over again, success minus fulfillment equals failure. And so we have a society full of people, whether they're at a certain bracket, a lower end of the financial bracket, or if they're on the higher end of the financial bracket. When they look at what it is they got or what they don't have, it's frustrating to them, because sometimes they don't have it because they didn't commit themselves, and sometimes they do have it, but they didn't commit themselves to being true to themselves, and they thought, oh, well, if they just go astray in this area and maybe unfairly step on this person, or sacrifice their morals and their ethics in order to get the house that they wanted or the position that they wanted, they have accumulated those things, and it makes them even more sadder, because they went outside of who they was in order to get that, and they thought that would kind of make up for it, and they realized the ends didn't justify the means, and the means didn't justify the ends. It's just a big ball of mess, if you will. And so if you extrapolate this out, be it me, you, your neighbors, president, so what? He's the president. Does that mean he feel like he's fulfilled? And I'm talking any president. I'm not talking about the current president. I'm talking about any president, any basketball player, any singer, any construction worker. Doesn't matter. People are waking up in situations where they know, whether they admit it or not, they know they're not being who they intended to be, who they wanted to be. And what makes it even that much more saddening is the fact that a lot of them wake up and realize that, and they're too afraid to do anything about it, too ashamed to do anything about it. Just go on day in and day out. Like I said, it doesn't matter if he's homeless or if he's driving a 2020 Bugatti. His life doesn't line up with him or her internally, and it causes great pain and suffering. And you have a society full of that, and you can see the ramifications of that, because people have betrayed themselves. And I made a video. I'm going to continue to make videos about the different governments, organizations, certain family members, whatever. There's other things that have betrayed us as well. But the biggest and most important piece to the puzzle is that we have betrayed ourselves. We betrayed ourselves, and if we're honest, we can be real about that. You want to be a guy who stood up against racial inequality. That was your goal as a kid. When you saw that when you were 10 or 9 and 15 or whatever, and you were able to comprehend the fact that this is just fair and unjust, you felt in your heart, your inner spirit, that you was going to do something about that. And maybe you started out saying something about it, but then all of your friends, all of your co-workers, the environment that you had to be around in order for you to get to where you were going, you sacrificed that. You put that to the side. And now you've become numb to the fact that you really aren't even being who you really want to be. And every now and then you just sit and you realize, wow, there's an emptiness. I thought this house, this car, my wife, my kids, this career, I thought this would do it for me. And it's not going to do it for you. It's never going to do it for you. You have to pump the brakes and then make a course change. As did I. So, I want to warn you guys against continuing to go against the grain of who you are. Don't do that, because there's something bigger at stake. First of all, than just you. There's your eternal soul that's at stake. Because according to my research, my studies, as well as my own brand of philosophy, this is how we build, this is how we create and build our souls. This is how we get to heaven, by accomplishing that which we were assigned to do. There's a dream that you have in your heart, and then maybe that dream doesn't always come to a total fruition with regards to the way you or myself had it in our hearts. You wanted to be a major saxophone player, but it didn't work out. Maybe it just wasn't your thing in terms of you having the skill set to be with the upper echelon of that. But you just walked away from that in its entirety, instead of, well, let me see if I could teach somebody. Let me see if I can do anything else in the music field. Your passion, your drive was for that saxophone. But even though that was not necessarily meant for you, you don't say, well, one of your fingers is sore, so then you just cut off your hand. You walk away from it in its entirety. No. And so I'm not saying that everything has to be fulfilled the way that we want it to be fulfilled, but there's something in you that's tugging you and letting you know you should be doing something else. You should be being someone else. And whatever that is for you, to get up each and every day and to deny that, to ignore that, to run from that, to make light of that, you do yourself a tremendous disfavor. You do all of us a tremendous disfavor. And again, this is your eternal soul at stake. There's a person that you know that you should be, and you're not being it. And so these are the ramifications. And this just caused further hurt, further pain, and further suffering. Because at the end of the day, if you're not genuinely happy, you can't assist anyone else to be genuinely happy. That's impossible. That's literally impossible. The old saying, if you don't love yourself, you can't legitimately love anyone. There's the thought of love towards a person. There's, different deeds and different acts and different courtesies and things of that nature that you apply and may put towards that person. But at the end of the day, you can't get grapefruit from a turnip. You can't get grapefruit juice from a turnip. You just can't do it. You can't get peanut oil from a bottle of milk. That's just how it doesn't work. So see the importance of you finding your way back to yourself. There's a song out now. Not sure of the artist, but it's called Innocence. Return to Innocence. Don't be afraid to look into your heart, and you'll find yourself. Or look into your heart and your true identity. It'll find you again. Because at the end of the day, you never went looking for it when it was revealed to you. You wasn't out trying to figure out who you was and what your goals are and what moves you. You was just doing something and it came to you. And when it came to you, it was totally different than what the teacher said or maybe what you had said when someone asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And maybe you had this, but then all of a sudden you was just sitting around and your passion, something jumped out on you, whether it was taking a stance for social issues, making corrections with in the judicial systems, being an advocate, for veterans who come home from war, whatever it was, it all of a sudden hit you like a ton of trucks. And you knew right then and there that was your calling, that moved you, that was your passion. So you don't have to go looking for it, just get within yourself, go within your heart. And if you feel like you are somewhere doing what you should do and being what you should be, then still do the assessment. Because a person could be brainwashed. They could have brainwashed themselves, could have been brainwashed by friends, family, and society as a whole. And this becomes so normal that you're not even aware of the fact that you're outside of yourself, that you have actually betrayed yourself, because it's become so normal to you. Like someone sitting in a smelly room for so long, over a period of time, when somebody approached them and said, "Man, that room smells. What are you talking about?" He don't get it. So still do the assessment. I challenge you. For those of you who like positive and constructive challenges, I challenge you now. And don't just take the easy way out. I know myself. What is this dude talking about? I know myself. I know what I'm doing. This makes me feel good. Yeah. Like an alcoholic, that alcohol, after so much and so often, yeah, it makes him feel good. You doggone right, it makes him feel good. And if you were ever to be sat down either by choice or by force and had and sobered up for a period of time, he would realize that he really missed that. Doesn't mean he may stop drinking altogether, but he's going to realize he really missed that. There's a feeling that really, really moves him, but he's been washing it away so much, he's been programmed so much by that alcohol that's what feels good to him. It's numbed him from all of the other things that actually feel good and may actually feel even superior to that. So take the challenge, man. I mean, what are you afraid of? And then encourage those around you to take the challenge, because again, people are going to jobs that they can't stand. People are in relationships that they don't want. They have to put on this fake persona every day that they don't want. They have to engage in conversations that they don't want. And each and every last one of these things is self-betrayal. It's self-betrayal. If you know you want to get up and say something about something, but you know there may be some social backlash, maybe some friends walk away from you, maybe you get threatened, whatever, and this continues to happen in your life, and you're not doing anything about it, you're never going to open your mouth. That's self-betrayal, man. You have betrayed yourself. And I know the hurt and the pain that comes along with that, because again, I'm speaking from experience. So for me to have been raised the type of guy that you see now, and it's still getting better with regards to letting my calling and my purpose be front and center, irregardless of the way it looks, irregardless of the way it makes me appear in society, irregardless of what my friends think, irregardless of how weird I look. This is who I am. This is how I live, and I'm not going to betray that. Nothing's going to cause me to betray that. Nothing's going to coerce or persuade me to betray that, because when you put it down and you walk away, that's betrayal. You have betrayed yourself. When you know you should be doing this, and you know you should be behaving this way and speaking out on that, or put money towards this, or whatever it may be, and you don't do it, you betrayed yourself. And then you're wondering why you just walking, driving in traffic, and as soon as a guy just get over in front of you a little bit, you pissed off at him. No, because you've betrayed yourself. And it doesn't show up. And here's the thing. Don't miss this. It doesn't show up in a way that says, "Wow, you betrayed yourself." It shows up, and you just being aggravated. You really don't have no reason to be, or you have a reason to be, but you can't understand why it's such a big deal. Somebody stood too close to you, and I'm talking even before this so-called pandemic. But somebody stood too close to you. Somebody looked at you a way that you didn't like. Somebody said something negative about your baseball team, and you took off on them. It irritated you. It aggravated you. This is because you're walking around in a bubble, a self-contained bubble of self-betrayal. So it's no wonder you hate this person, or you can't stand that person, or you don't like your job, or as soon as the wife said this, you don't respond as constructively as you know you are obligated to, and that you know you actually can. So this is what happens, man. Again, if you're walking around thinking this light is just going to pop off, and you and everyone else is just going to wake up and realize that they are engaged in self-betrayal, that's not how it's going to happen. It's going to take place with little things always eating at you. Something about this group of people that you just can't stand. Something about your neighbor that just rubs you the wrong way. Something about your coworker that you really would like to tell them off. All these little things They just nick and nick and nick and tuck and tuck and tuck until eventually you're just living in a state of dis-ease all the time. And I'm talking about you, and you can extrapolate this out and see, well, why does she always just look at me and roll her eyes? Why does he always look at me and mean mug? How come the boss did this so unfairly? How come my wife, just said this all the time? How come my mom, how come my cousin, how come the stranger on the street corner, the stranger in Walmart, what did I do? I just walked up and looked, and the stranger at Walmart, he or she was just so rude. Everybody, predominantly, obviously I'm not talking about everyone, but predominantly that's what's going on with them. And so it's not necessarily you that they're pissed off with and angry about. And when it comes to you, directing that at them for something they did, the guy walked by and coughed, and the cough came from out of nowhere. He got his hand up as fast as he could and just happened to be looking your way. Wasn't even that close to you. But you got straight up offended. It wasn't him. It was you. And again, same thing in reverse. That lady at the cash register, that guy who rings the bell on the Dow stock to start the trading at the stock exchange, it's not him. It's not you. You just walk in to invest in the stock just like everybody else. But he looked at you like, if he had a chance, he cut you in 1,000 pieces. It's not you. It's him. And so you can know that it's not you. Don't start, trying to figure out. Don't start trying to make sense out of nonsense. Because the only sense lies in the only truth, and that is we're living in a society where the vast majority of people have betrayed themselves. And so once we betray ourselves, it's easy for government to betray us. It's easy for our homeboy to betray us. We betrayed our own self because our own self said, you wanted to say something against the government anyway. Our own self said, you know what, you knew you shouldn't have been messing with your homeboy no way. But you was betraying yourself, and again, sometimes it's done unconsciously. So it's not going to happen consciously. You're just not going to wake up. It may, but I think that's very slim and to the point of being non-existent, to where, people are just going to be walking and just realize, you know what? I said I want to be a veterinarian. Here I am, building these homes, making all these millions of dollars, and I'm the world's greatest architect around the planet. But in my heart of heart, I want to be a veterinarian. And you put that to the side because you had an opportunity to make a whole bunch of money. You took the opportunity, and no one can necessarily blame you for taking the opportunity. But when you left yourself in the process, then that's what you're blaming yourself about. That's what's eating you. That's why you have the cars, the houses, the social followings. You have, the family. You have the things that on someone on the outside looking in will say, man, that's got to be a pretty happy and content person. But you know within yourself it's all just a front because you have betrayed yourself. And so the good news is we don't have to continue to do that. You can fight for that change. You can fight for that change. You can just give some thought to it. Give some thought to it, and it'll come get you. That thought will come. That thought, your authenticity, will grab you and drag you right along with it. But you got to be willing to sit down and acknowledge it, and stop, being so busy and shooting towards a goal that ain't doing nothing for you in terms of fulfillment. So you can pump the brakes and you can make a course change, because at the end of the day, this is what we need. We got enough followers. We got enough people who go along just to get along. The world is craving authenticity. Doesn't matter what it is, what it's about, or how much money it brings. You can't tell me how much money Nelson Mandela had. You ain't got a clue about how much money Martin Luther King had. You don't hear nobody ever talking about the financial status of Jesus Christ, JFK. But you do hear about these people because they was true to themselves. They was true to that path that was organic for them in terms of where they were going externally in their life and who they were called to be internally. So whatever the occupation may be, whatever the monetary gains or lack thereof, spend some time with yourself and your authenticity will find you again. And we can get out of this jacked up matrix that we're living in, where everybody is basically unsatisfied, dissatisfied, and disharmony just emanates out from them and spreads like a wildfire. That's what's happened because everybody is walking around, and a large amount of people are walking around in these self-contained bubbles of self-betrayal. So again, my contact information is there if you want any practical and comprehensive steps on what could help you find your authenticity, what could inspire you and motivate you to actually develop and strengthen and renew the courage that it takes for you to be authentic. My contact information is at the website treeoflifeoutreach.com because yes, it takes something, a certain strength, a certain power, a certain fortitude and commitment to be authentic. Those of us who are practicing authenticity, we can attest to this. And for those of us who may have tried and saw the backlashes and experienced it firsthand, then they know too. This is why they jump back in with the herd, man. That's too weird out there. I tried to be me, and I got shunned across the board, got labeled, got talked about, ridiculed, rumors were spread. But what else are you gonna do? You're gonna cower down? You're gonna be somebody else? You're gonna go along to get along and continue to betray yourself because of the way it makes you look, because of the way it makes others feel? No, I'm encouraging you to not do that. So my contact information is up there. If you have any questions, you can contact me. It makes me happy to make others happy, and I love loving. That's just me. That's just how I am. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, and look forward to me making some additional videos along this and other various topics. Again, experiential philosophy. There's absolutely no subject matter that's taboo with me. I dare to investigate all that may become of a man with regards to what he can contemplate and or perceive. I dare to investigate it all. So if there's a topic that you would like for me to address and get my philosophical take on it, that's also based on, again, a hands-on, real-world experiential philosophy combined with that which I've thoroughly studied, researched, and practiced. That's what I got for you guys today. I like to start each and every video by sending guys to the website, requesting that you guys go to the website in case there's someone new. And then I also end each and every day with a truth in which I live my life by. And again, my actual experience has shown me actually works. And that is, if you are feeling bad, go make somebody else feel good, and you'll feel better a lot faster than that. The moment you make somebody else feel good, you'll feel better. I promise. Now, if you're already feeling good, and you go out and find somebody who's feeling bad and then make them feel good, then you will go from feeling good to feeling phenomenal a lot faster than that, instantaneously. So I challenge you guys to try that. Let's make your world bright. Let's enjoy your day. Know that I don't know all of y'all, but I do love all of y'all. That is as real can get. Thanks, guys. Peace. Holla back.